Live from New York, the show that may or may not bring a live Husky onto the set in a few minutes. It's First Things First. We start with Huskies hoopla. Oh, my goodness. UConn rolled San Diego State, as predicted accurately. Sonogo goes for 17-10 and wins Most Outstanding Player. UConn wins every game by double digits. Oh, we kind of showed this the other day, but we weren't champions at the time. 5 titles in the last 25 years. Nick, does this make UConn one of the best teams of all time?
Absolutely not.
Okay, it's fair. We kind of knew that.
But there's something maybe better for them. Now, listen, they had an all-time great tournament. This is not an all-time great team. And that is not the fault of these young men. It's just the sport has changed. And we don't have to go back to Walton and Alcindor. We don't even have to go back to Dikembe and Alonzo being on the same team. Just in the 2000s, there have been 3 Kentucky teams better than this team. The Florida team that won back-to-back, that had Horford, Corey Brewer, David Lee, and a guy who was an unbelievable collegiate player before he lost his mind, Joakim Noah. I kid Joakim Noah just because of the old LeBron rivalry. Obviously, hell, the UCLA team, they didn't even win it, with Russ and Darren Collison and Kevin Love and Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute, pardon me. Those are all better teams than this UConn team. But college basketball has changed.
Right.
And when college basketball has changed this much, I wonder if something that has been static with college basketball, which is the blue bloods, needs to change as well. So the 6 blue bloods in college basketball are UCLA, Kentucky, Indiana, North Carolina, Duke, and Kansas. And you see why. Their Final Fours and their championships. Kansas, obviously, the fewest championships, but the guy who invented the sport went there. Wilt went there. James Naismith was there.
And they've been successful.
And they've been successful across,
Generations.
generations.
Sorry, Embiid.
No.
Gotta go.
We're not getting. However, if we go to the last 25 years, you will see something very different. And you will see one of those programs sticking out like a bit of a sore thumb. And that is the Indiana Hoosiers, who have 1 Final Four in the last 25 years, 1 Elite 8 in the last 25 years, and really had only 1 period of true greatness, the Bobby Knight era. So, Wildes, may I borrow your gavel for a moment?
Oh, wow.
I'm here to make a pronouncement.
Rarely used.
Thank you. Blue Bloods. Indiana out. UConn in. Gavel.
Okay, there we go.
It's official.
Wow.
UConn. And I say that as
Dusty.
a Syracuse alum.
Stop.
I'm no UConn
Lost in the
fan.
first round.
UConn gets to be
that's true.
in the Blue Bloods, bro.
And I agree with you on that.
Oh,
but
wow.
Let's keep it real. UCLA?
What?
Does anybody think of UCLA anymore as a blue blood?
Wow, gone.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
We're
their
paring
last
it down.
championship was 1995, and that was their first one in 20 years.
Tyus Edney.
John Wooden, obviously the best coach ever. That was the best dynasty ever in college basketball. But since then, 1 championship since 1975.
But
no one thinks of
But a number of
UCLA as
Final
a blue
Fours.
blood anymore. I get it. They have these runs where it's like, wow,
Ben Howland
UCLA
era.
had a nice little run.
Yeah.
Right. But still, you could take UCLA off of there, nobody would bat an eye.
I would.
Well,
UCLA is the greatest program in the history of the sport.
Yeah, dating back to John Wooden.
Unless they totally fall off a la Indiana, they get to stay. They get to stay.
I think UConn definitely, I'm with you on that. You're right. Look, the best college age players, let me make it plain what you were saying earlier. The best college age players are now either in the NBA, the G League, or maybe even overtime elite. All right? That's why those teams in the past would have demolished. With all due respect to UConn, congratulations, great run. They would have demolished the teams that win championships today. But just putting that aside, just looking at this team itself, this is why it can't be an all-time great. You put it well. They had an all-time tournament run.
Yeah.
Okay? But they were a number 4 seed for a reason.
oh my God, you're going to talk about a mid-season
They were
slump?
the 10th.
About the champions?
They were ranked number 10 entering the tournament.
Yeah, and guess what? A little bit of adversity.
Yeah, all right. Look, number 10 entering the tournament. They lost to St. John's by double figures. St. John's didn't get in the tournament.
Are you kidding me? They're the
They
champions,
finished
bro.
fourth in the Big
We're
East.
talking about St. John's?
They finished fourth in the Big East, which only had 5 teams make the tournament. I'm just saying, we're talking about all-time great teams.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't put they're not even the best. You mentioned a few teams, Kentucky and all. How about UConn
In
in
95?
2004 or 99?
That's fine. If you wanna
99 when you
compare
had
UConn
Rip Hamilton,
teams,
you
I'm okay
beat
with
Duke
that.
in the
Khalid El-Amin.
This team,
Yeah, Mr. Minnesota.
This team, Wildes, did not be the number 1 or number 2 seed on the en route to winning the championship.
But I think they could have. This is
Yeah.
where I will
No,
push back.
coulda, woulda, shoulda, you
They
didn't.
blew everybody
You
out.
can't make
They
your own
beat 3 number 5 seeds and a 13 seed.
What do you want them to do?
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
we want to play Purdue in an
You
exhibition?
know what I want them to
Sorry,
do?
Dusty.
I want them to take a bow. I want to applaud them. Great job, and I mean this in sincerity.
No, you don't.
But let's stop the all-time great talk.
Well, I don't think anyone's really actually saying they're an all-time.
Wild
great team.
thought they were this morning.
I
think he
changed
changed
it.
his mind.
I tweaked
This
it.
morning,
I
it was
brought an
all
envelope.
chest
I
out
gotta
and
get to my
everything.
envelope,
What's
bro.
in the envelope?
Well, a wise man, Colin Cowherd, we were discussing like working on a TV show, and Cowherd's like, you know what the audience loves? I said, what? I thought he was going to give me some insightful take. He goes, envelopes. I was like, really? But I think he was right. So here's an envelope. You know what it is? It's a list of champions in the last 25 years. Okay. So this is when you're talking about UConn. Maybe you think they weren't as good as St. John's or Purdue, who lost in the first round. But this is who UConn is over the past 25 years. Most championships.
Okay.
Serena's got 23. Tigers got 14, 15 total. UConn women have 10. Brady's got 7. Bama's got 6. The Lakers have 6, and UConn has 5. Those are the defining teams and people of
the
a
last
generation.
Quarter century.
So although don't want
No,
them
they're
to
the
be
dominant program. I'll give you that.
The dominant
of the last
program?
25 years.
That's good. That's
I'm
all I
with
wanted.
that.
Can I just
I'm
add
with
one
that.
quick thing?
Sure. Would
for
you like the
audience?
envelope?
Well, no, but I do. So, America. So Kevin Wildes did not get that from Colin Cowherd. He got that from David Letterman. But we have.
Not true.
Oh, really? Letterman and the envelopes and reading it to the audience. But Wildes tells
didn't
so many
invent
Letterman
envelopes.
stories that he gave that
This was
story
a
to Colin
Colin
Cowherd.
story.
You know what? I'm gonna have to call
Trust me.
Colin after the show and check on that. But
He's not
going
going to remember, but it's
You know what he said to me earlier?
What's that?
Off the set?
What's that?
More championships than LeBron.
Oh, I forgot I said that.
He did
I was
say
trying
that.
out some takes.
Yeah, he
More
he said
champion
that.
of the last 25
what he
years, more
said.
championships than every player other than Kobe and Tim Duncan.
I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
telling
that's-
you what he said.
No, it's
Also, never lost in the finals. Get to the finals win.
9-1 now, I think, in the Final Four.
That's
He was pretty
incredible.
good.
And
That is incredible.
here's the other thing: 3 different coaches.
Yeah.
Well,
Think
that
about that.
actually
That is
oddly might
incredible.
cut against it because they've had some down times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's been
but
the high peaks and then the low lows.
to do
but
that with 3 different coaches
5
is
championships in a
incredible.
quarter century is pretty unbelievable.
Incredible.
Congratulations, UConn.
Yes.
We're moving on to the National Basketball Association. Chris Haynes reporting that the Mavs plan to re-sign Kyrie, but Kyrie, quote, will instead allow his future to be decided in free agency this
Okay.
summer. Okay, Nick.
Yeah.
How do you see this playing out?
The Mavs should offer him 1 year with a team option at less than the max and see what is out there for him.
No way
Because the
he's taking
answer.
What's he gonna take? You got a better offer?
The thing is this,
Let me see.
bro. I scoured the NBA landscape today, and I came up with 2 teams maybe that would be interested in Kyrie in some type of sign and trade. One is the Miami Heat, if they think Heat culture can overcome the Kyrie culture, and the ailments Kyrie has brought to every team he's gone to since he left the Cavs. And the other one is the Clippers in a sign and trade because the Mavs need 3-and-D wings. The Clippers have plenty of wings. Russ will obviously be gone. I would imagine they're not going to re-sign Russ. Maybe they will. We'll see how it goes. That teams that are like, gosh darn it, we think we can contend. It's been disappointing. For the Heat hasn't been disappointing, but they need to get over the hump. I think that's the entire list. I think that is the entire list. And those 2 teams are just maybes.
What happened to the Lakers?
Right.
The Lakers, I don't think want to be in the Kyrie Irving business.
That's where I'm going to go. And I hear you, and I agree with a lot of what you said. First, let me before I get to the Lakers, let me throw out the teams with cap room. Like
Sure.
max, close to max, or could have max
None
cap
of those
room.
teams are.
Houston,
Yeah, Kyrie's not going.
San Antonio, Utah, Orlando, and Charlotte.
Not happening.
None of them make sense
It has
for
to
Kyrie.
be a sign and trade, right?
Well, no, none of those teams
Correct.
should want Kyrie.
Correct.
Okay, just because of where they're at in their development or whatever, he's got to think about that. All right, like none of these teams are going to want him. So where's he going to get the big money from? As you said, sign and trade. I know the reports that came out about the Lakers not being interested, and I get that. Here's the thing. If it doesn't go well in these playoffs or whatever, other than injury, right? Barring like an injury to AD or LeBron, if
If
they
they're full
lose,
strength and losing round
yes. If D'Angelo Russell doesn't play well, he didn't play well for Minnesota in the playoffs. Remember last year? So if that happens, maybe, just maybe, LeBron gets them to go ahead and get Kyrie. I don't know if anybody else in that organization or program would want, or roster would want Kyrie. But maybe LeBron can push it through. Other than that, I do like Miami, because where's Miami going?
Well, maybe back to the NBA Finals. I mean, they're
They're
there a few
not.
years ago. They're in the
Let's
Game
stop.
7 of the conference finals with
Okay,
a shot to
fine.
win it last season.
They're not getting to the final. They don't have
tend to
a shot.
agree.
They're not. They shouldn't be
check
on title pie. They shouldn't be anywhere on title pie. All right, so they need talent. And you're right, they got the Heat culture.
Yeah.
They got Pat Riley, Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's not going to sit there and play around with madness in the locker room. So maybe they're thinking that. Outside of that, who's the other team you mentioned?
The Clippers.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe. If they're desperate.
How about this? And this isn't going to change the NBA landscape at all. But they're a team that's not young and developing stars or future potential stars, not a contender. They just kind of there, and maybe they need to sell seats and
trying to guess.
just draw fans, and he's got all the shake and the wiggle that they love. The Wizards.
Oh, I guessed it.
I mean, right.
I know. I'm so
Put him
happy.
with Bradley Beal
Okay.
and see if you
And
can
do
make
what?
the play-in.
No.
I mean,
See
that's
if you
what
can
they
make
do.
the play-in?
They've done that for the last 20 years. I mean, this is what they do.
What do you think they should do?
This is
I
what
think it's
they
going to be
do.
Lakers. I think it's going to be Lakers.
Okay,
I feel like
why
LeBron-
would if not the Lakers, then
Because
what?
LeBron wants the Lakers. LeBron wants Kyrie.
Why would
Well,
the
if they have a
Lakers
good run,
change
though, they're not
the
gonna need him.
champion? Well, but I don't know if you guys saw yesterday. The Lakers are winning the title.
I did see that. I saw it on a
we just
bar.
bypassed
Well,
that.
can I ask you this
in one
on the
ear and
free
out the
agency
other.
list, Wiles?
Sure.
Here are the possible free agents that, and Brew's correct that only a handful of teams have cap space, but the guys who either make max money now or could. Tell me who, when I give a name, say if you would rather have them or Kyrie. Chris Middleton or Kyrie.
No, Chris Middleton.
Okay. Fred VanVleet or Kyrie. That's not
Look,
even a question.
it's all
to me.
about
little spark in Toronto?
It's off the
But
court and
that's- but
even
again-
the impact on the team. I hear you.
You're right, but so
I hear you. Who's bringing in Kyrie?
I'd rather have. So Jeremy Grant's going to be a free agent. If I'm trying to win a championship, I would rather have him. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be a free agent.
You got it. You're a
Yeah, I don't know about
Porzingis fan
Porzingis.
now?
Porzingis hasn't been
Guys,
great for locker rooms either.
I understand that. He has, guys, we are on a 6-year track record now. 6 years of teams being worse with Kyrie than without him. Now, I'm not putting all of Dallas on him. I'm not even putting the majority on him.
And you shouldn't put
But
all of the Nets on him.
I am putting all of the Nets on him.
They were 18-2 over a nice stretch this year.
And then he blew it up.
His mistake, and mistake in Brooklyn was he left.
But yes.
And he also
agreed.
the anti-vax.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that were anti-vax, so he did it.
You gotta-
No,
you
I'm
gotta
just
move on.
saying.
Brew.
You left-
Boston.
Don't look.
Boston
Honestly, I don't
goes
need any
to-
of those free agents.
Goes to the conference finals when he's hurt and when he leaves.
I'm with
when he's
you.
there, it's terrible. Brooklyn.
But don't act like Why does Dallas want him then?
Because they are desperate and poorly run.
Well, what they should do is, I agree with you, 1 year team option for a second year, not the max, and we're going to try to put defenders and shooters around you and Luka
Yeah, I like that.
and see what happens. And if it don't work out in a year, you're out of here.
7-16 with Kyrie.
It's not great.
Since the trade, then.
It's just a downward slope for 6 seasons with every team he's been on.
Best handle in NBA history.
Okay, this
I'm
guy.
just saying.
Oh, the
This
latest
guy, Brew wants to
And
get
one of the
straight
greatest
for
finishes.
Alston a match. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.